So welcome to your product online suite product methodology, because we said, hey, how do you create products? How do you set out and create products? Because you are now an online expert. You want to create an empire. You want to create things that people can go on to enjoy. Remember that every time somebody comes into your funnel or your system or your email, they are on a journey. They are looking to go somewhere. So it is your job as a consultant, speaker, trainer, coach, whatever it is your job to be able to create some amazing things for them and take them on that journey. That means that you're growing, they're growing. That means that you are also creating some passive income streams that can make you some money whilst you sleep. All right. So let us get into this. And this is usually part of our course, the World Class Consultants with Audacity, and this usually happens in week 4. However, because we decided to gift it to you, because you are a superhuman being and you are on a great journey, we said, hey, why not? If not, so let us get into this. One of the things I want to quickly discuss here is the methodology. We got to have a big picture thinking, okay? And that is just going to be summarized in form of, okay, what and how do you package your expertise? What and how? What can you come up with? What are those things you should think about as you are beginning this journey, or if you're halfway through? What else can you do? What kind of products can you think about, so that you do have an array, so that you know, okay, these are the products that are open to me. This is what I can do. Therefore, let me get on and do it. Okay, so you could think about coming up with reports and or blogs. Let me explain. When I talk about reports, that means that, for example, you are in a certain niche. You are the person who goes and gets some amazing information. You do research, you go deeper than the normal stuff. You go and find some information from all kinds of places, and then you put it together and you can sell it. You could say, I'm selling a report on for $10. Get my report that can help you to figure out manicure, or figure out horse riding, or whatever it is. You go and find those reports. And then, of course, blogs. If you're a blogger, if you're not yet a blogger, but you might want to start thinking about, okay, what other products can I come up with right here, right now? And then number 2 is, I want you to think about, hey, you could come up with ebooks and or books. That is another product that you might want to think about. And then, of course, live seminars. All right, the live seminars are, that is a much more advanced event, advanced product. But hey, I'm giving you a way to think about how you want to develop, or how you want to go in terms of building your business. And then, of course, third is the teleseminars. You're sitting on their cameras, and then you deliver your information, you deliver your course, whatever it is, and it is recorded, and other people log in, and then they get the information that you are giving out to them. And then, of course, next is we have the audio programs. Okay, just like this one, this is part of an audio program, but it's also part of an online course, okay, where you do record and just give people audio programs, or you can do an online course just like this one. And then, of course, there is the webinars and webcasts. Okay, now that is a big thing right now, the webinars and webcasts. And then, of course, the DVD programs. And finally, I want you to think about 2 others, and this is where you're really scaling up. Okay, membership groups, and then certification and or franchises. Okay, now with membership groups, this is where you say, okay, if you want to be a member of the World Class Consultants with Audacity, you pay a certain amount of fee per month, where then I can serve you and do what I have to do. Same thing with you say, okay, if you want to be a member of this group, or if this group about people who are learning how to ski, or people who are learning how to knit, or whatever it is, you create a membership group where people can pay you a minimum fee for them to enjoy. And then, of course, certifications. If you are qualified to certify people and they want to be part of your group, part of what you do, then, of course, you say, hey, the certification program is a 6-week program. You go through this and this and this and this, and or you want to franchise it. Somebody wants to take your information, they love your program so much, and they want to go and franchise it in another country. So that right there is your product suite that you might want to think about in terms of, okay, these are kind of things, kind of products that I can come up with. All right. And then, of course, finally, when you become a consultant, speaker, trainer, at a world-class level, you're going to be called to make speeches. Okay, now people are going to start paying you for those speeches. All right, and then of course masterminds. Now mastermind is a big time where people, have learned your stuff, but they want to master it. They want to get mastery. They want to take it to the next level. They want to interact with you at a much higher level so that they can be able to achieve what you are achieving. All right, so that right there is your product suite. And going a little bit deeper, I want to right now share with you the big picture thinking, framework for creating anything. By the way, this framework, it doesn't matter what you're creating. It doesn't matter where you are. By the way, every time that I need to shoot a video or come up with something, this is the framework that I think about. This is usually the bigger picture in terms of the psychology behind why I'm going to create what I'm going to create and why it is important. All right, so I will always ask myself a few questions when I am creating anything. The first question I'll ask is, why do people need to listen to me? All right, I just need to go back to where we were. All right, sorry. Technology can sometimes go crazy on me. All right, where were we? All right, big picture thinking. And I'll always say, all I need to do for me to get a great product out there, for me to make sure that the product serves everybody, all I got to do is ask myself 4 questions. How many? Just 4 questions. The first question is, why should people even listen to my stuff? Remember, every time you get up to speak to anybody, a group of people, wherever you go, one of the greatest understandings of persuasion is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Most importantly, if you don't give them the why, because everybody's listening to the same radio station, what is in it for me? So you must give, especially if you're teaching, consulting, or doing any of that, you must give the adults a reason why they should listen. When you are young, one of the reasons why you should pass class was either you'll be rewarded or you'll get some bashing from your dad or mom. That was your big why. Now here we're saying, hey, you got to, from the onset, you got to give people a reason why they should listen to you. Otherwise, you get up, you want to, if your product doesn't capture my why and doesn't give me a reason to listen to you, I will not. And then next you say, if I've given them a reason why they should listen to me, then what am I going to talk about? And usually these are interchangeable. Your what is usually the name of the topic, but the why, I usually like to start with the why because it captures people's mindsets. And most importantly, when it comes from a sales point of view, why is where you kick them in the wound so that you agitate them a little bit. You give them a reason why they should listen and why they should listen to your stuff. And then what it is you're going to present to them. And then the next question is always, how does my stuff work? All right. And this is the bulk of your presentations. This is where you put everything in terms of, this is how it works. This is step 1. This is step 2. This is step 3. This is step 4. And by the way, this is universal. It doesn't matter whether you're writing a book, whether you're coming up with a seminar, whether you're coming up with a product, whether you're coming out with a speech. Every time, if I'm going to do a speech, I'll ask myself, what reason should I give these guys to listen to me? Why should they? When that is concentrated, I'm like, then what am I going to talk about? All right. Then I'll say, how does it work? This is the bulk of my presentation. And then I will always ask, what has stopped you in the past and or myths? This is where you bust the myths. And this is the reason why is you want to be the champion of your audience. You want to be a champion who encourages your audience to not just see what has stopped them, but to say, now that I'm aware of that, I'm going to do something different. But also to bust the myths. For example, when I've done public speaking, I've always broken the myth that people are born great speakers. I say, no, that is not true. That is just a myth. Or you either got it or you don't. That is a myth. Then I'll also sometimes go after what has stopped them in the past. The reason that you haven't taken action in the past is you didn't have the full picture, and I am giving you the full picture right here. Or the reason that you haven't taken action in the past is you are not confident, and I'm saying to you, just start and follow this and this and this, and you're going to be okay. By the way, I'm also going to give you this and this kind of support. So eventually you give people an ability to take action. Remember, you don't do any course for the purpose of just doing it. You do it because you want people to get better. You do it because you want people to take action. You must be more interested in people's achievements and people's desires and people's success better than yourself. If you can't do that, then it's going to be a hard one. It's going to be, actually, you will struggle to to make it in this business. Okay, then the next question I say, okay, what if you did what I'm saying to you? Okay, then you got to give them some testimonials and tell them, you know what if you do, this is what happens, what if you don't. Okay, I like to put in there just to give them perspective of saying, hey, by the way, there are repercussions for doing, and there are great results for not doing. Okay, no, that is the other way around. There are repercussions for not doing, and there are great results for doing what I'm telling you. But also, this is where you begin to get them to think about what questions do they have, what questions and objections are coming up. And then if you're in a sales situation, this is where you respond to all the objections, where you're like, okay, what objections do you have? Okay, and if they're there, you go through them during the presentations so that you are, in their mind consistently, and making sure that, guess what, by the time you're done, you have dealt with the objections, you have dealt with the most common questions, and bust some myths, and dealt with what has stopped them. Therefore, there's no excuse. They just have to go. And this is where we call this is what we call being the champion for your clients, being the champion for your customers. All right, then next, okay, and finally you have to say first thing they got to do right now. Okay, and this is about getting them to take action, because it is a confidence booster. All right, Tony Robbins has always said, never leave a place where you have decided to set a goal without taking an action. Why? You need to create momentum. You need to create that kind of motion to say, you know what, it has started. Your job as a speaker, trainer, consultant is to always create confidence for your clients so they can go out and do something. So let me share with you the master formula of how to create anything. Okay, now this is this is a formula that has created tens and tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars in the past. Okay, and here we go. Number one, all you got to say is, hey, here's who I am and this is what I do. Okay, this is the little introduction. Okay, here is who I am. No, this is your what you could say. Okay, and then you'd go, have you ever had any of these challenges? Okay, this is the bigger why. All right, and then number three, you say, okay, me too. Here's my story of struggle, giving them a why to listen to. And then you continue, here's my story of finding the solution, and they're like, okay, now we're getting into the how. Okay, now here is my and my students' results. And here's the old versus the new world. Okay, here you're breaking down the myths and the trends, and this is so crucial because it gives your students and everybody who listens to you perspective. They're like, you know what, this guy has actually thought about this thing. This guy is at the cutting edge of things. It gives you the best ability to be able to influence your crowd. Okay, then you say, here's a solution, step-by-step system in a framework. This is the bulk of your training. Okay, this is where you give your points. From step one, you go to step two, you go to step three. This is where all your frameworks are. And by the way, this formula will work for a 5-day course and or a 1-hour speech. It is the same thing. It is just that if you are doing a 5-day course or a 5-week course, when you come to here's a solution, every step could become your week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. All right, but the first video would be number 1, number 2, number 3, and then the rest would be you break it down in the sequential steps as you see them. Then you'd say, here is the most common mistakes, do's and don'ts. Now again, this is giving your people permission. This is also giving them being a champion for them, again, for them to be able to succeed much quicker, much faster. And then here is the first thing to do once you finish my program. All right, why? Confidence creates confidence, okay? Now, a couple things to remember when you get into this. Okay, number one, if you're using the outline for product you are selling, you will spend most of your time on point number 7, which is where you teach your step-by-step process or advice. Okay, that bullet point could be the bulk of your online course, meaning points 1 and 6 could be your first and or second video. All right, and then of course the rest just follows there. Okay, point number 7 could take multiple videos, one of each set in your process. For example, when you get to point number 7 and says this is how it works, and then you start taking them. If you want to build muscle first, you got to what? To start thinking about your nutrition. Then week 1 you just talk nutrition. Then week 2 you say, okay, this is how you do your workout. Okay, day 1 you do upper body. Day 2 you do lower body. Day 3 you stretch. Day 4 you rest. Day 5 you pile it up, whatever it is. But each one of those days is its own module. All right, and then when you go into that module, then you still break it down into the why it is important, how they should do it, why they should listen to you on that one, and you repeat. Okay, now, for example, I might teach a framework for succeeding as a consultant, and each step is know thyself, okay, These are the 4 steps. Okay, number 1, know thyself. Number 2, the psychology of winning in business. Number 3, course creation. And then of course number 4, promote and partner, the business side of things. Well, there's 4 topics there, and each could be a separate video in the course. Okay, even a separate week of the course for that matter. Okay, then the last video in the course would cover point 8 to 9 above. So your job is to maintain your great state and enthusiasm in each point of the framework throughout the entire product or presentation. All right, always remember to be the cheerleader of your students. Okay, do not, if you're having a bad day, don't do the freaking video. Always be in a better shape, always be in a better state when you get out to serve. Okay, cheer them, lead them. That is how you're going to get great results. That is how you are going to get some real stuff coming back to you in terms of great testimonials. Okay, thank and celebrate your students for for continuing their education, just like I always do. You'll notice that at every end I'll say, you know what, it is your time, do what you got to do, because yes, I am super proud of you. You know that by now. Now, if any of this feels overwhelming, which it sometimes might, not all the time, some of you are pros, you just, you're animals, you can't wait, you just want to get out and make it happen, then that's cool. But okay, if it feels a little bit overwhelming, I want to remind you that all masters were once disasters. And remember, with work, everything is possible. Stick around in the Facebook page. Okay, get some support from there, from like-minded people. Okay, just keep watching each video as we go. You have access to this whole stuff for the rest of your life. Okay, you will learn more and more and more and become even more comfortable with each lesson and activity. Okay, because you are on your way to being the super consultant with Audacity. All right, so let us just break down this one a little bit more. Okay, so question number 1, here's who I am and what I do. Okay, now here's who I am is just where you simply introduce yourself. Okay, here, and how you help people. Okay, you don't need to go into a big story here. Okay, for example, I might just say, you know what, hi, my name is Coach Phil. I am the creator of the World Class Consultants Program and founder of Intelligent Performance International. I help consultants to build their businesses and make money in one place so that they can achieve their dreams and have the impact that they desire. All right, that is all I could do in question number 1. All right, now question number 2, I would then go and say, have you ever had any of these challenges? Okay, now this is where you take the customer's perspective. Now remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. When you get into their head, into their dreams, then they will accept, it will be a much more, they will appreciate it a bit more. They will want to listen a bit more because you are in the customer's perspective and you are discussing problems and challenges that they face in succeeding in your topic of mastery. Okay, and guess what, you are going to be teaching more. So if you ask a question, hey, have you ever had any of these challenges? Okay, and then you say, me too, here's my story of struggle. Okay, now you share, your struggles that you've been through that relate to the topic you're teaching about. So if you're teaching nutrition, for example, share personal struggle. I was overweight, I was struggling, I had acne, I was, whatever it is. Okay, and then go on to share the struggle you have had in finding your path and or your motivation to find that path in life. Okay, if it's business, share how hard it was when you began. Just be authentic and don't feel like you have to share your entire story here. No. Just share some pointers that are relevant to your topic. Okay, some moments in time that were difficult so that people can begin to, connect the dots and like, wow, okay, so it is possible as long as you do this and this and this and the other. All right, so that is where we are. All right, have you ever had any of these challenges? Okay, and then number 3, okay, me too, here's my story. Okay, my story of struggle. You just go through it, you give them a few of the pointers. Okay, now question number 4, here's my story of finding the solution. All right, again, now share how you overcame your struggles. Okay, you don't have to be perfect. Okay, actually, the more authentic you are, the more you share exactly what you went through. It is okay if you are even still struggling with the same things, but do talk about the journey you went through to improve your life or business. Okay, did you read books? Did you go to seminars? Did you get mentors? Did you, what was your breakthrough? What lessons did you learn? Okay, and did you discover a secret of moving faster, and who helped you to improve, and what did you do different? Okay, share that story big time. And then Next one is, here is my and my students' results. Okay, now this is crucial. This is where you share the successes you have had after you went on your journey to solve your problems. Okay, it doesn't have to be about having fame and riches. No, it can be simple stories of how your life changed in positive ways and how others have changed too. Now, if you don't have any testimonials yet, it doesn't matter. Use yours, use your stories. Okay, use your story to inspire others, because the only way you're going to build those testimonials is by sharing your story and then attracting the right person, and then they'll come in and do what, and will also go on to get the results. You don't have to share specific numbers or data. Okay, this isn't about setting an expectation that your customers can have the exact same result. No. As a matter of fact, it is illegal. Okay, this is about sharing how your life transformed and how your students have been transformed, if any. Okay, and how they have improved their lives too. And then question number 6 is, now this is where you're going again. You are not just cheerleading, but you're showing your clients and customers that you have taken some real effort to think about and bring them some of the best, but also you're helping them to have new beliefs, to think differently, to know that it is much more possible. Okay, so how did you used to think things work before your success, and how do they really work? Because every time you might have a different way of thinking. This is how things think, but actually it is a different way. Okay, so you have to go in and break down what are the myths or trends in your industry, what's the reality today. Okay, by exposing those myths or bad thinking in your topic area, you position yourself as an expert with perspective. Okay, for example, I'll always tell you, when I'm teaching public speaking, I'll always say public speakers are broke. Okay, because in the olden age they thought it was about how good you look, how sophisticated you come off, and all that stuff. And then I said that doesn't matter anymore. What really matters is how well do you show up, how much do you care about training rather than speaking to the audience. Okay, now that then not just positions me, but also gives people that perspective. Oh, you know what, I think this guy knows what he's talking about, or this young man or this lady. All right, so that is what happens in number 6. And then of course number 7 is where you say, okay, here is the solution step by step. Now this is where you get your framework out. You give them their step by step. And like I said, if it is a sales, it is 1 page. If it is a long course, 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever, this is every step by step could be a week for that matter. This is the bulk of your training. Share your framework, share your processes, okay, step by step, for your students to follow, to improve. For example, this I don't know if have you guys read the book from good to best, from good to better, that book. Okay, it is a set of frameworks. Okay, or if you've had Steve Covey's 7 habits, okay, of effective people. Okay, it is all about what? It's all about frameworks. It's all about showing you framework where each point is, you go from one step to another step to another step. Okay, the longer you spend on each point, obviously the longer your course becomes. You don't have to know your full framework now, but try to outline the big steps. Okay, for example, you're taking somebody through through writing a book. For example, you teach people how to write books. Okay, so you say, you come up with a framework, you collect your stories, you begin to decide what the journey is going to look like. Is it going to be the hero's journey? What other kind of journey is it? What is going to be in the appendix? What are you going to have a book where people give you have to do actions at the end of it? All that, those steps broken down, those frameworks broken down are so useful to your clients. Okay, then number 8 here is the most common mistakes, do's and don'ts. Again, what should your students avoid doing to make sure they do start moving in a much more positive way? All right, again, you're cheerleading, you're giving them the do's and don'ts, you are showing expertise, you're also coming off as somebody who really cares and has been there and knows what has got to happen. All right, and then number 9, here's the first thing you have to do once you finish this lesson or program. I always do it with each lesson and or with each program. Okay, why? Because imagine you're ending your product or presentation and you get just a few more minutes to give the audience your marching orders. What do you want them to do, to get out and do in the world first? Why should they be excited, and what's the next step for them right now? Why? You want to create momentum, you want to create memory, you want to also make sure that you have served them, that they get away and continuously do what you've told them to do, so that they can become better at the end of your presentations. Yeah. Okay. So right now, this is what I want you to do. Exactly what I just said. Okay, I want you to if you want more training, okay, I want you first to take the 9 points that I've shared with you and write them down and begin to outline your product. Begin to say, you know what, this is how I'm going to come up with my product, book, whatever it is. Okay, but also if you do want free training on how to start and grow your consulting and online training business, where we take what I've just shared with you to make it even much deeper, it is free. Just click on that first link there. Okay, intelligentperformance.com/free training. Okay, and or if you want a free case study on how to be a successful consultant, then of course www.intelligent-performance.com/case study. And naturally, if you do want to just have a discovery call, find out how we can take this to the next level and help you to be your best version, but also start a business quickly, fast, and begin to make a difference and make some money, then of course you can just click on there, get into the calendar, and let us get on the phone call and have a great conversation. So I want you to always remember, okay, that everything is possible with belief, massive action, and time. Okay, speed of execution is king. Okay, there is a saying in Swahili which says kuongea ni rahisi, talk is cheap, right? The only way this would be useful to you is if you get out your journal right now and bang out your 9 questions and begin to fill them in, so that you can have your product going immediately and we can get you to the level of audacity to live life on your terms. So until next time, I want you to live strong, live with passion, and know that you got the audacity to live life on your terms. Peace.